Arg! Ahoy there, matey! Welcome aboard the world of boating.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
The radio show devoted exclusively to the boating lifestyle.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Brought to you by worldofboating.com, your internet portal for the boating enthusiast.
I was just looking into buying a boat of my own.
Call World of Boating toll-free now at 1-888-88-28-BOAT. That's 1-888-828-BOAT.
And welcome. This is the World of Boating. Greg, your first mate, Captain Patrick, Mike the Mariner, and Barry the Boater rounding out the crew as we attempt to navigate the latest boating news and information and just share a few, boating stories, anecdotes, man on the street stuff today because Mike, in particular, is out, near the water, not on the water as we speak, but down in the Sarasota, Florida area where you're getting ready to go out on a Hatteras with a friend, and what are you doing? Are you going to buy this boat? Just going out for adventure, or what? What's the deal, Mike?
No, I own all the fiberglass I need.
Okay, fair enough.
We have a good friend that has a 57-foot Hatteras over here,
Nice.
and he spends his summers up in Maine, and so he's going to be gone most of the summer. So some friends and I came down, and we are just getting the boat ready for the summer. And while he's gone, we're going to come down every several weeks
and steal
check it out, make sure she's okay. Yeah, we're going to use it. It's kind of fun.
So you've parlayed some kind of
a
scam so you can watch after your friend's boat when really you're just going to be taking it out on the water, under the guise of, oh, yeah, I'll keep an eye on her for you.
They always say, some people like to have boats and some people like to have friends with boats.
Yes.
I have a boat and I have a friend with a boat.
Wow,
so
best of both
better.
worlds. Absolutely.
Right.
So you say it's a 57-footer, right?
It's a 1975 Hatteras 57
Okay.
motor yacht.
Is it pretty, well equipped and everything and upkept, and it's pretty nice vessel because those are nice cruising boats for sure.
Its age, it's in pretty good shape, and like any boat that was built in 1975, there are some fit and finish things that could be updated, but it has good electronics, and the engines are healthy. And
okay, so the big question is, why isn't the rest of the World of Boating crew with you on this adventure?
Come on down.
Okay, so go through the shakedown cruise this week, work out all the kinks, and then next time you have to go keep an eye on her for your friend, you can bring some other friends with you. That's the plan?
Absolutely.
Barry, you're in, right?
Are they going to top off the tanks before they leave for Maine?
Gosh, I hope so.
Why? You don't want to pay the fuel bill, huh?
Well, I've already got a boat to pay the fuel bill for, but
right.
I think that I don't know how much fuel is on board right now, but plenty for what we're doing.
If you're going to take care of it, you got to take it out every couple of weeks to make sure it's all good. So that's why I ask.
And it'll need a full crew, and Barry the Boater's volunteering, I would assume, right, Barry? You would
sure.
Captain Patrick, he'd probably be willing to help out.
No.
No, Captain Patrick. Why? Okay.
Come on, Captain Patrick. Why
not a fan of the Hatteras? Come on.
No, I love Hatteras's. Whenever I wind up going out on a friend's boat.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Barry, you know exactly where I'm going.
What,
by
you
the
no
way,
longer
since you're here,
become a friend, or what do you mean? No, since you're here, what? They want you to fix something?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I just noticed that the such and such isn't working, and I haven't been able. Hey, you know a little bit about that system, don't you? The worst was when I would get stopped up at Silver Glen.
Well, here's the thing. I know you like to drive boats. If you're on a boat, you want to drive. So if you come down, you can drive.
There you go.
After I fix it.
I'm willing to come over and be a passenger because that counts for something, doesn't it?
Over.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I don't want to do any work.
Greg will be the deck fluff, as we now call him. Mike, serious question. So you've got your friend who summers up in Maine and leaves his very large, very expensive boat in the water and relies on friends to come by and give it a once-over. Has he put any type of, even though it's an older boat, has he put any type of a monitoring system on board for being away from the boat for such an extended period of time?
I'm not sure. I was on the boat for about 10 minutes before we left for lunch.
Yeah.
So I haven't had a chance to look around, but I do know he has divers come and scrape the bottom every few weeks.
Every few weeks.
And,
And then they actually visit his boat, which is
Yeah,
It's really
over
something.
in that area, Barry, there's not a lot of water movement.
Right,
It's
exactly.
pretty shallow, and that the warmer the water, the faster the rate of growth, and it can overwhelm in a hurry. And even having divers come out, that's why you go out and you go out and you run it and take it through some really shallow areas. That'll knock all the growth off the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, look, a sandy bottom, that'll clean it real quick.
Well,
Sandblasting.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he has it all set up because he just had the boat hauled out, full bottom job, new cutlass bearings.
Nice.
Did the props, had the props tuned. The boat's ready, and now it's just a maintenance thing from that standpoint.
Does he bottom paint the props, the wheels, or is he doing something like prop speed?
I think he did prop speed.
Nice, smart
but I'm
guy.
not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what will you
Yeah,
have
and
to
that-
do? Just like start up the engines once a month and make sure, she's just purring like a
Well,
kitten.
we'll
and-
come down every several weeks and,
Yeah.
and maybe even take it out for a ride. So one of my lifelong best friends is down here with me. He's actually real close friends with the owner. That's why I'm here. So it'll be he and I coming down and taking the boat out every once in a while just to keep her exercised. But
Right.
So, Mike, twin gas, twin diesel.
I don't think they ever built a 57 Hatteras with gas engines. But
You never know. Over the years, somebody could have retrofitted and said, "I'm taking
No.
these nasty diesels out of here."
No, these are 8 V71 diesels, Detroit's.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So plenty of power.
And,
Probably
and they run
fairly
great.
efficient too, aren't they?
for the boat's size,
Yeah.
if you run it, and keep it out of the turbos for most of your cruising, you can get on a boat this size probably about 0.7 or 0.8 miles per gallon.
Yeah.
At about 10 knots,
Yeah.
maybe 9 knots.
So you're just a friend of the guy who owns the boat, right?
Well, the owner is a friend of mine now through my friend.
Okay.
I've known him a couple of years. Yeah.
All right, but not
Yeah.
close enough that if you went over to check on the boat here in another month and it just magically left international water or state waters and
No,
ended
he-
up in the Bahamas and
No, we could go. No,
we could? Yeah.
we absolutely could go. Yeah, absolutely.
okay, and he wouldn't get upset by that. He'd say,
No,
"Yeah, take
no.
her, take it
But
away."
it's a
That
shorter
would be
drive.
a long trip.
But it's
Well,
a
that's
shorter
fine.
drive for you to come to my boat in Sanford.
Well, that's true.
Take a
I
ride
guess.
on Silhouette, any given weekend.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they down in Sarasota. I guess maybe we could cruise down though over there. We could take her down to like Key West or the Dry Tortugas or something like that.
We could,
Yeah.
actually. Yes.
That would be
Mhm.
nice.
Okay.
Mhm.
See, Barry's in.
Yeah, that would be great.
That
Well,
doesn't
I've never
appeal.
been there. Dry Tortuga is supposed to be beautiful out there.
Yeah. And but even with that, Patrick doesn't want to go. No, Patrick, you won't help out and
No.
run the boat. God,
No, he's
see?
going to be surfing this summer. Are you kidding?
Okay.
I told him, Patrick, I said you can drive the boat.
I know. That's what I'm trying to, coax him in somehow. Like, hey, you can have the helm, and we'll just mark it off.
Do
as
you know
Patrick's
how many
territory.
boats I've driven since I was 12?
I know, but you've always said that if you're on a boat, you want to.
Oh,
if
if I'm on a boat, I'm driving. Absolutely. I hate,
all right,
I hate being a Greg.
Okay, so if you come to Sanford and we go out on Silhouette, I'm just going to crack a beer open and let you take the boat.
Chauffeur
It's
the
all-
rest of
it's
the
all
people
yours.
around. Yeah.
Well, that's
I like
it. That's how I've had some of our customers hire me as a captain, was to go out and run their boats while they went and entertained.
Yeah.
I've done that before.
A boating chauffeur.
Pretty
Captain
much,
Patrick. Yeah, that
Yeah.
could work. I'm okay. I'm okay with that.
And Greg will be the mixologist.
No, he already said earlier, I'm gonna be the boat fluff.
Now, Greg
I mean,
is
if you
going
got
to
it,
be the
might as well flaunt it. You know
Greg,
what I mean?
Greg will be the early warning sunburn detector.
That could work. He could be the
Okay.
sun measuring
All
UV detector.
Time to roll over. He looks like a lobster. Okay.
It's only been 3 minutes.
Yeah. That's
That's about
pretty-
right.
Yeah. That's, That's what
He
it
gets
takes to cook
sunburned
'em.
in the house.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Don't open the window.
so you're enjoying yourself in Sarasota. So you're just kind of going to go through some more. Well, he's going to take you through some of the systems, I guess, when you get out on the boat in the morning. Is that the deal, Mike?
Yeah,
Yeah.
actually, we kind of did a quick look around, and the systems are not unlike the ones on my boat, so
Okay.
they're pretty familiar. So
Got it.
yeah, we're going to go through the boat tomorrow,
All right.
do a quick test, and make sure everything runs right, and make him feel comfortable about leaving for the summer.
All right. Well, my advice to you is don't mention the rest of the crew at the World of Boating. He may have a change of heart if he's heard any of this nonsense. So just keep that to our crew, and we'll come out and go boating with you next time. All right, more coming up on the World of Boating. Stay close.
You're listening to the World of Boating Radio Network.
Hosting a radio show about scuba diving and boating is one of the best gigs on the planet. It's actually part of my job to check out and report on cool new products I personally use to enhance my diving and boating adventures. However, I do believe in sharing the joy, and this is why we've added Nanook protective hard cases to our list of products you can now purchase on the merchandise page at scubaradio.com. Nanook cases are designed to protect the most sensitive equipment in the harshest environments. Underwater photographers, listen up. From their high-impact NK7 resin to their exclusive Power Claw latches, Nanook has raised the bar for those of you that demand the best protection for your gear. Plus, Nanook protective cases cost less than similar products currently on the market. The company has been around for over 15 years, but it's new to the U.S., so we've made a small number of Nanook cases available exclusively for you at a special introductory price on the merchandise page at scubaradio.com. Go there now and check out Nanook, the evolution of protection.
Be an explorer in the other 2/3 of your world. Be the buddy who takes the kids in the aquarium instead of just to it. Be adventurous. Be amazed. Be a diver.
Even Keatley wasn't ready for me, or anything that followed. Chased by a police department, led by his ex-girlfriend, and hunted by brain fork-wielding Fijian assassins, it's everything he can do to keep from getting locked up, killed, or worse. Kava Screw is available as an ebook for $2.99 at Amazon.com. Kava Screw. Put a brain fork in him. He's done.
You have successfully navigated the Sea of Commerce and now are clear to cruise with the World of Boating.
I do like the water.
The radio show devoted exclusively to the boating lifestyle.
The sun, the sea air, good friends.
Brought to you by worldofboating.com, your internet portal for the boating enthusiast.
You guys, where's Haley? She is on a boat in the marina, putting you in her rear view mirror. Boats have those, don't they?
Come on down to my boat, baby. Come on down where we can play.
This is the World of Boating. Greg, your first mate, Captain Patrick, Barry the boater, Mike the mariner still with us. I thought he was going to head out and go get on the Hatteras, but he's still connected, as you can see on YouTube, Facebook Live, and Twitch. What's the deal there, Mike? You just bored? Are you? I see you're outside some kind of eatery. Is that some Amish restaurant in Sarasota you're hanging at?
Amish
today?
It's clearly not Amish.
Okay, all right.
No, we're at a place called the Gulf Drive Cafe.
Oh, okay.
Waiting for our food.
Yeah, I've said this a million times, Barry. Remember, Sarasota is a popular Amish community. Very big Amish community there.
I didn't think they had them there.
Yeah, they got great restaurants that the Amish put together. They have some of the best food you can get in that neck of the woods.
Yeah, you could actually go to IKEA and get those Amish restaurant kits.
That's a different type of Amish. Anyway, There you go. That's my little food tip for everybody. If you go to Sarasota, go visit one of the Amish restaurants.
That's your only food tip. It's the one that you've repeated probably umpteen times.
Yeah, but
on the show.
Barry seems to keep forgetting it every
my
time I bring it up.
My short-term memories.
No, Barry doesn't forget. He's just ignoring you.
It could be that too.
No, that is not accurate. So, all right, but Mike, you gonna hang then, or you got to take off, or what are you doing? Just
Yeah, I can stay through this segment.
Okay, all right.
and
Well, feel free to comment. We got some other stories that we got to navigate through.
We do.
Some involving unique water hazards, not far from where we are here at headquarters in Orlando, right?
That is correct. And one of the headlines on this story was helicopter crashes into gator-infested lake, Lake Apopka, which pretty much, if you're in Central Florida, every lake is gator infested, including most retention ponds.
And by the way, it's mating season right now for gators, so you don't want to get close to them.
Wait, how do you know that?
Because I am familiar with the mating cycles of the Florida alligator, and this is the season. They're getting their freak on.
Moving on.
Yes.
So there was a helicopter crash into Lake Apopka on Tuesday.
Okay.
And it made headlines, of course, helicopter crash, especially here in Central Florida. I think there's been like 4 in the last 20 some odd years. It doesn't happen very often. And of course, it going down in a lake, and they were out spraying some herbicide or something like that. So there was a couple boats out there that were observing, part of the whole operation, were able to get to the helicopter pilot and get him, off the helicopter. No real harm done. Now, it gets even more interesting because the follow-up story is crews recovering a helicopter that crashed in Lake Apopka Tuesday discovered a second mystery helicopter in the water Wednesday morning.
Wow.
Holy moly.
In the same area?
In the same area.
Yeah. Actually, just so you know, Lake Apopka which is, part of Central Florida, right outside of Orlando, is a flight training ground area where student pilots like myself will come out of Orlando Executive and they do their training missions. They fly out to Lake Apopka and then they do some training and S curves and things like that when they're trying to learn how to fly airplanes and evidently maybe helicopters, not so efficiently in this case.
Yeah, but how do you lose a helicopter?
Well, they didn't lose them.
Yeah.
Well, they knew one went down, but then they found a bonus one.
They accidentally found the second one.
Yeah,
so.
Sounds like
well, and the weird thing is both helicopters are owned by the same company.
Okay.
This sounds like an insurance thing.
So the FAA is investigating.
Right.
And Greg, we all know that you're working on your pilot's license for the last 12 years.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with flying a helicopter?
A little bit. I've been in one, so that counts for something.
Oh my God!
I've been in a helicopter. That doesn't count for nothing.
What do you mean it doesn't? No, of course it does.
It was fun to be in one.
So,
and they
but what's your
vibrate
point?
like
I mean, okay, I'm familiar with helicopters. Yeah, but
because I was going to talk about the type of helicopters, but since you're really not, you wouldn't know a Bell from a Huey.
Well, I would, but what's the point? I mean, I thought you were talking about, do I know how to fly them?
Well, yeah, there was that too. But
okay, but they're totally different. I mean, if you know how to fly an airplane, well, that will not help you whatsoever when it comes to flying a helicopter, other than maybe knowing how to talk to the tower, which is the same. But as far as the skills required to fly a helicopter versus flying an airplane or a general aviation aircraft, it's like night and day.
So going to start a fight. Which is harder?
I've heard helicopters are harder, actually.
Yeah, I would.
It takes
I would agree with that.
Yeah, from what I've talked to some helicopter pilots over the years, and they
was one of them named TC, and he was from Hawaii.
No, that's incorrect. No, it takes a little bit more balance because you got to use both feet and your arm and
the collective and all the.
Yeah, there's a few little more tricks to a helicopter. Than learning to fly an airplane. I mean, anybody can fly an airplane. It's taking off's easy too. It's the landing part that gets you, and you really need to get all three elements in place before you really want to do.
I have a quick question though.
Yeah.
So the helicopter that they found, the other one, when did it crash?
Yeah. Do we know?
Earlier
Obviously.
in the day.
Oh, no.
Earlier in the day.
Oh, he's making crap
were
up
like
now.
they were like a day apart. These things both went down.
Wow. They didn't find any bodies in the other one, did they?
So it
doesn't say. Nah.
Wait a minute. They found the bonus helicopter, and that one went down the day before. Are you just saying that, or is that the truth, Patrick?
That would be the truth. They went down because they were out there. They were out there performing operations, spraying this herbicide on Lake Apopka.
Yeah.
Probably to control all the hydrilla and stuff like that, because Lake Apopka has been plagued over the many decades, whether with the hydrilla growth or the phosphates getting into the Lake Apopka from all the farms. It's a troublesome body of water. It's actually surprising the alligators are. In fact, the alligators that are in there are probably mutant alligators, and definitely don't want to mess with them.
Well, the phosphates are probably pretty clean.
Actually, the lake they've been resurrecting that lake for many years. It's actually a pretty good ecosystem right now. But I'm just really surprised that this company lost 2 helicopters a day apart.
Yeah.
I mean, that's unprecedented.
That seems odd. Yes.
Okay, so just so you know, okay, so from Click Orlando, which is a trusted news source here in Florida, 2 helicopters owned by the same Florida company crashed into Lake Apopka just hours apart.
Wow. Well, that's not a good day when it comes to flying helicopters, and we'll see how long their business lasts. More coming up on the World of Boating.
You're listening to the World of Boating Radio Network.
Traffic sucks, unless you're scuba diving with Mike Scott.
Mike glanced down at his dive computer. It showed less than 50 PSI left in his tank. Probably just a few more breaths.
Or riding shotgun in a thrilling car chase.
One bullet hit the Jeep's windshield, spiderwebbing the passenger side. Mike shifted into second gear and felt the Jeep leap forward. This just got serious.
Escape your commute with audiobooks from author Eric Douglas. Download to your phone. Go to booksbyeric.com or audible.com.
Be an explorer in the other 2/3 of your world. Be the buddy who takes the kids in the aquarium instead of just to it. Be adventurous. Be amazed. Be a diver.
Imagine traveling twice as fast as you can drive. Imagine taking friends and family snorkeling, surfing, skiing, shopping, and more to exotic destinations. Imagine attending business meetings in cities far away and still making it home at night. Or just imagine exploring the wild blue yonder.
Quit dreaming about it and get to it. There has never been a better time to become a private pilot, and Flight Training Professionals in Orlando will show you how. Flight Training Professionals in Orlando is your full-service flight school. A state-of-the-art flight simulator, a fleet of the latest Cessna aircraft, and a staff of full-time seasoned flight instructors are just a few of the many reasons Flight Training Professionals in Orlando is the place to start your aviation adventure. Call 407-896-0077. That's 407-896-0077. Or go to ftpros.com. That's ftpros.com. This is the World of Boating. Greg, your first mate, Captain Patrick, Barry Z. Booter, rounding out the crew. All right, so the navigational hazards in Lake Apopka, they're no longer there. They got the helicopters out. Had a helicopter incident, found that one, and then evidently while they were salvaging that one, they found the second one. Is that right, Patrick? In a nutshell? Yeah?
I wonder if you get a discount if you find one and get one, for half price.
Find one, get one free.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Yeah.
I don't know about free.
Yeah. I don't hear Patrick. Is he muted?
I don't
or
hear him
something?
either. No, he's not muted. I don't know what happened.
I don't hear you, Patrick. You got to turn your microphone on.
Well,
But,
I think it's on.
Yeah.
But
anyway. Yeah. So at least they got him. They found him.
Mhm.
I mean, that's a bad day when any kind of aircraft goes down in a waterway. But if you have two happen so close together, sounds like there's something weird going on, or
I can't imagine what his insurance rates are going to be like when he's done.
well, yeah,
It'll
time
be
will tell.
okay.
It'll be okay. All right, we got you
It'll
back,
be okay.
Patrick. All
Hey,
right.
real quick,
Yeah.
because I know this is our short segment. Earlier this week, I had posted some pictures on an installation that I was involved with on a new yacht, and had some people, what is that exactly? And what we're installing, what we're looking at, is a product made by Webasto, who's probably more known for refrigerator units and ice makers and things like that. But this is their Blue Cool V series. It's a variable speed chiller air conditioning system,
Okay.
which gives you a cooling capability from 8,000 to 77,000 BTU. And for yachts like what we manufacture, where we've got 3 zones: forward cabin, aft cabin, and upper helm salon, because of the enclosed upper cockpits. Normally what you'd find with boats like that is 3 separate air conditioning units, probably anywhere from 16,000 to 18,000 BTU. So now you've got 3 units that you have to service versus this one single unit that's a chilling system.
Which is good and more efficient, I assume. Is that where you're going?
We're gonna find out.
Okay, and that's next on the World of Boating. Stay close.
You're listening to the World of Boating Radio Network.
My captain, oh captain, my captain, rise up and hear the bells. Rise up, for you the flag is flung, for you the bugle trills.
All right, dismissed. Well, just to remind you, Pied Piper is still a sinking ship, so.
Enough with the maritime metaphors.
This is the World of Boating. Greg, your first mate. Captain Patrick Barry as a boater running out the crew. All right, so Patrick had posted some pictures of air conditioning unit, a chiller, I guess.
So made by Webasto. So
Okay.
it's a single unit
Mhm.
versus having, say, 3 separate air conditioning units set up in your boat for
Right.
3 different zones. So with this one, what we're looking at is, again, you got a range of 8,500 to 77,000 BTU based on their product offering. The big thing for me is, and Barry, this will probably make sense to you, maybe not so much to Greg, 0 electrical starting peak. So,
Really?
yes. And what happens with boats of a certain size with individual air conditioning units is, though people go on board and they'll try to kick all of them on, or they'll hook up shore power
Whoa.
and the ACs are turned on, and it'll just the system goes what? And it's created issues over the years with soft start systems and things like that for the air conditioning units, to make sure that you don't overload that system. And in a warm weather or a hot weather area like Florida, so much so. The other thing is this thing is incredibly, and I haven't gotten a chance to mess with it too much, but it's got a preventive maintenance monitoring system, condensate-free operation, which means it doesn't create any condensation, unlike individual air conditioning units that you'll find on your boat, which creates an issue as far as drainage and maintenance and keeping those drain pans clean, things like that. probably the biggest thing for me is how smart this thing is, as all technology is moving towards, to where the ability for it to self-monitor, to network with the Webasto systems, and kind of self-diagnose even if there's an issue. The drawback, as I see it, and again, in boats of a certain size, probably not going to be, you just have to design for it, is its size, because you've gone from, 3 small units spread out in a boat to 1 large unit. And where do you put that? Most commonly is going to be in the engine room. And based on how much stuff you've got in there already, it can create a challenge, not only with space, but also with weight, as far as making sure that your static list of your vessel is correct. With the larger yachts, a lot of them moving towards, outboard options, and you have that huge engine compartment open for things like seakeepers and stuff like that. Not going to be an issue for your traditional, say you've got Volvo Penta IPS diesels. Might be a little bit more challenging, but for boats that are coming out of manufacturing new, it will be designed for it. So we're going to give this thing a shakedown this summer and see how well this performs.
Yeah. Well, if you were designing it from the ground up, I would imagine it would be more efficient than 3 separate units trying to do that. Or do we know yet?
We suspect it will be. Again, you go off the literature, what the vendor tells you, and Webasto is going to tell you it's the best thing since sliced bread. And if you go up against Dometic and Marine Air, their systems are going to tell you, their systems are the best thing since sliced bread.
Right.
So chances are, for manufacturers, as they move more towards units like this, probably offering them as an option, you can get option A, which would be your individual marine air conditioning units, or you could get a system like this. What the price difference is, that I couldn't tell you, but it's awfully, awfully interesting. But it creates a challenge moving forward as boats age, and we're seeing that now. You would think, man, 2017, that wasn't too long ago. Yeah, it's 5 model years coming up on 6 as we get ready for 2023. And what you're going to have is components that are going to start to age, and probably replacements won't be directly available. So things like Garmin's, you're going into a new boat now and finding analog gauges, probably going to be pretty rare. Most everything you're going to find is going to be Garmin displays, Raymarine, a glass cockpit by Volvo Penta, which is made by Garmin, but is actually a Volvo Penta product that Garmin builds for them. But as these things age and they need to be replaced, the challenge you're going to have is those units, they're just not going to be so simple as a plug and play, unplug it, plug in a new one. There's going to be splash screens that are going to need to be loaded. There's going to be other data that may need to be loaded. And I know marine boat manufacturers are starting to confront that and figure out how they do that moving forward, which is really kind of setting up a department within their company that handles warranty replacements, or somebody who's got a boat that's out of warranty, but yet wants to, the system needs to be replaced, and making sure that everything is loaded into that device prior to it being sent out, because just sending you out a Garmin 7612 isn't going to do it. We've also starting to find this with smart battery chargers. Smart battery chargers are actually programmed by the marine manufacturers, and you've got the dip switches that have to be set based on the type of battery that's going to be used. So again, going to West Marine or going to the vendor even and getting a replacement for these smart battery chargers, you could wind up that if that unit fails and you replace it, that all of a sudden you've got lack of communication at that Garmin screen or that Raymarine. It's, as technology advances, it creates unseen problems or unforeseen problems, and this is one that the industry is going to have to get a handle on moving forward, because we all know that components in boats are eventually going to stop working. They will need to be replaced, and what is going to be the process for that. And companies such as the one that I work for are already working on this for solutions so that make that replacement as trouble-free as possible.
Well, I would imagine that this kind of goes back to why you would want to go with a company that's been around, has a long track record, and hopefully is not going to be going out of business anytime soon.
Well, absolutely, because whether that's C-Ray, whether it's Cobalt, whether it's one of the other manufacturers, whether it's pontoon boats, Go Fast Boats, or the company that I work for, a track record is one thing, but the ability for that company to recognize that these are issues as technology has advanced and it's changed and it's made boating easier. It's going to present challenges moving forward as boats age, because even if that boat is 5 years old or 10 years old, it still says whatever boat manufacturer made it on the side. And the last thing you want as a boat manufacturer is, whether it's the original owner or second owner, or even third owners, hey, Barry, how come you're not out in your boat? My such and such, can't get a replacement, called the factory. They don't know what they're doing. They sent me a unit. Now nothing works. And you would think it would be easy as plug and play, but there are, especially once you start to move into digital switching, those units, those glass cockpits, those Garmin displays, those Raymarine displays are going to have to be programmed by the manufacturer, by the boat manufacturer prior to being sent out.
Or create some kind of universal system. Well, supposedly with NEMA and all. Yeah, I know.
You can't, because like with splash screens, especially, what boat manufacturers are doing, they're tailoring those splash screens on those units to the particular boat that you're in. And when you get into the digital switching, they're going to make it to where when you turn on your nav lights, your display that shows your boat is going to show your nav lights on,
right,
or your cockpit lights. So it's got to be programmed with that data prior to being sent out as a replacement.
Well, as time advances, I think you're not going to need a boating mechanic as much as an IT guy.
Yeah, no, you are correct.
Yeah.
And the biggest problem is that they cannot let these things have such a short end of life cycle that someone buys something and 2 years later they can't even get it repaired, because people are going to get tired of that really quick.
Well, they don't, and that's what we talked with. I want to say his name was Carlos or Juan from Seawire, who specializes in refurbishing units like that.
Yeah,
because you may find that screens delaminate, or they go out on the fritz, and all those manufacturers, I think, do an exceptional job. It's not often that I hear of failures on the warranty end, certainly within that first year, but we know that eventually a unit is going to fail. Whether it's 1, whether it's 10, whether it's 20, what do you do moving forward from that?
And we'll talk about that next on The World of Boating. Stay close.
You're listening to the World of Boating Radio Network.
Do you have a message or product you need to share with the boating world? Well, look no further than the World of Boating radio show. Just like you, thousands of boating enthusiasts are hearing this message, and we could be talking about you and your product or service as early as next Saturday. Remember, a terrible thing happens when you don't advertise. Nothing. Go to worldofboating.com, send us an email, and let's get to work to make your marketing message matter.
Traffic sucks, unless you're scuba diving with Mike Scott.
Mike glanced down at his dive computer. It showed less than 50 PSI left in his tank. Probably just a few more breaths.
Or riding shotgun in a thrilling car chase.
One bullet hit the Jeep's windshield, spiderwebbing the passenger side. Mike shifted into second gear and felt the Jeep leap forward. This just got serious.
Escape your commute with audiobooks from author Eric Douglas. Download to your phone. Go to booksbyeric.com or audible.com.
Hosting a radio show about scuba diving and boating is one of the best gigs on the planet. It's actually part of my job to check out and report on cool new products I personally use to enhance my diving and boating adventures. However, I do believe in sharing the joy, and this is why we've added Nanook protective hard cases to our list of products you can now purchase on the merchandise page at scubaradio.com. Nanook cases are designed to protect the most sensitive equipment in the harshest environments. Underwater photographers, listen up. From their high-impact NK K7 resin to their exclusive Power Claw latches, Nanook has raised the bar for those of you that demand the best protection for your gear. Plus, Nanook protective cases cost less than similar products currently on the market. The company has been around for over 15 years, but it's new to the U.S., so we've made a small number of Nanook cases available exclusively for you at a special introductory price on the merchandise page at scubaradio.com. Go there now and check out Nanook, the evolution of protection.
You have successfully navigated the Sea of Commerce and now are clear to cruise with the world of boating.
I do like the water.
The radio show devoted exclusively to the boating lifestyle.
The sun, the sea air, good friends.
Brought to you by worldofboating.com, your internet portal for the boating enthusiast.
Here's the boat, and here's you. Do you want to be in the boat? Yeah, alone.
That's life on a boat. When I'm bored, it's the perfect kind of joke. I'm living it up and never giving up, life on a boat.
This is the World of Boating. Greg, your first mate, Captain Patrick, Barry the boater. All right, so you got to prepare for this technology. You want to put it on your new boat. Just realize, there's always upgrades. There's compatibility issues with things if it goes on the fritz, and that's just the reality. I mean,
there is, and even years ago, even with analog gauges, you would think, well, how different could they be? Well, we went through a period where the tacks that were being used based on the transmission and the engine package, those were magnetic tacks. So if you had one of these boats with the certain engine combination and transmission, it's and you ordered, well, my tack went out, I'm just going to go get, go online or wherever and buy a replacement tack. It doesn't work. So even as things as simple as that, the old style round analog gauges, there are specific types of gauges there that the boat was designed for, or the gauge needs to be used. And as that technology has advanced and things are moving towards digital switching, the smart battery chargers, which you're going to find more and more and more. And I bring that up because one of the things that we predicted on this show going back a couple years ago is coming to pass, which is you're starting to see a lot of these boats that are now 2 years old that were bought kind of at the beginning of the pandemic or during the height of the pandemic that are coming up for sale. For whatever people, either they fell in love with boating and they want to upgrade and they realize now's a better time to sell than not, and they're willing to wait to get their new boat, or they got into boating and realized that it's a hassle and something that they're not prepared for, and they want to get rid of the boat, and now is the best time to unload that lovingly pre-owned low-hour boat. So you're going to have boats like this coming into the market, the pre-owned market, that have got this technology. And if you're not aware of it, if you haven't done your research, it can come back and bite you and prove to be very, very frustrating. And you've got manufacturers that make resources available online through, let's say, a portal like a knowledge base or something like that, where certain documents and procedures are available not only to the dealers but also to boat owners. But to program one of these battery chargers, you don't have the program, you don't have the laptop, you don't have the cables, you don't know what dip switches that need to be engaged. Even if you open up the owner's manual or the installation manual on some of these battery chargers, and you're like, I'm not reading that.
No, if they don't read the owner's manual of their car, they're not going to deal with this.
Right.
YouTube.
So, well, even at that. Okay, because I enjoy YouTube University. I've used it many, many times for my Ford F-150. But there are times I've got my go-to YouTube instructors, if you will, that know what they're talking about versus the guy who, is Hey, y'all, I'm here and I'm about ready to replace the radio in my 2004 F-150. And here's what you need. You need a hammer and a chisel and one of these newfangled. I made this one out of a fork, and it's like, nope.
Very resourceful.
Yeah, but I did find a way because my F-150's got the suicide doors, on the back. And when those latches failed, I found online literally a $5 fix versus replacing the cables at $150 a door just by positioning tie wraps in a certain manner, creating tension on those cables. And it's like, this thing works great.
Zip ties fix everything.
Right, that duct tape. That's all
duct
you need.
tape. Yeah. But anyway, Barry and I were talking during the break about repowering. And that's something else that we're starting to see in the industry. And this, again, is something that we predicted where boat buyers are not willing to wait a year or 2 years for their new boat. So they're taking their existing boat that may be 10 years old or 20 years old, and now they're looking at upgrading the electronics, upgrading the engine, repowering, going, with something newer. The engine's got X number of hours on it. It's really kind of tired. It's at the end of its life, so to speak. I want something that's more fuel efficient, cleaner burning. And they're moving towards that end, which, again, helps in that marine economy, drives that business as well.
Okay. That's good.
It is. It's all good. The caveat that we wanted to throw out there was with these low hour boats that are, 4, 5, 6 years old even, be aware of the technology, do your homework, and just be aware of how the boat is set up, what it's got on board, especially if it's a larger boat and it's got a smart battery charger, if it's got Garmin or glass cockpit or Raymarine, any of these flat screen displays, what's involved if the unthinkable happens and that system fails and needs to be replaced. I've had calls from customers, the Garmin that has failed, they don't make it anymore, and the one that's the replacement is 1 inch bigger.
Right. So
and now how do they put that in? How do they put that into their dash?
Right. It's
I don't know.
I think duct tape and tie wraps.
Zip ties. Yep.
Yeah, zip ties. Right, exactly. All right. On that note, we're gonna have to wrap it up till next time. Remember, whether it is sail or motor,
life is better as a motor.
Safe boating, everyone.
Barnacle-bitten swab. World of Boating is brought to you by worldofboating.com, your internet portal for the boating enthusiast.
Any of this getting through to you, son?
World of Boating is a production of Overboard Entertainment Incorporated.
Computer standing by.
Remember, you can listen live or to archives of past shows worldwide over the internet at worldofboating.com.
Computers can do that?
So tell a friend and come aboard every week for the World of Boating.
This is so great. I can't wait. I'm getting goosebumps. Feel me. Feel me.
The radio show devoted exclusively to the boating lifestyle.
TTFN, ta-ta for now.
The opinions you just heard on the World of Boating are those of the hosts, callers, and guests. They are not necessarily those of any station or network, its management, or advertisers.
What are you being such a weenie for?
While on the water, your safety and the safety of many others depends on you. So boat smart and operate your vessel only after receiving the proper training and instruction for your area.
There is a fine line between genius and madness.
Have any questions or comments? Feel free to do so via the web at worldofboating.com.